If you guys have not noticed it, I decided to upgrade my home freelance videographer home office, and in this video I'm be talking about one of the most important things for any freelancer life is the chair that you sit on. And in this video I'll be talking about this chair right here, and this is one of the most notoriously recommended as your best budget office gaming chair, and whether or not you should buy it. This is my IKEA Markus review. Stay tuned. I guess one of the most overlooked things when it comes to if you're an aspiring video editor or videographer is, besides your camera equipment, your laptop that can edit 4K video, another big investment that you might want to look into is the chair. The chair that you sit in and spend hours. And this can cause things, if you don't have the right proper setup or chair: back pain, neck pain, shoulders, the whole 9 yards. And this is why I decided, through a recommendation of a friend, but as well as my own, needed to up my chair game. Because before I just used your casual dining or kitchen chair, which I highly do not recommend. And this started to give me back and neck pain. So I decided to look into what is the most budget friendly but yet ergonomic chair that I want to use for video editing, because I myself spend hours sitting at this workstation right here that I have at home, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, sometimes even more. So this was the most recommended. This is the Markus chair from IKEA. Retails around for $170 plus tax. You would go for around 200 Canadian dollars because I'm Canadian, but it goes around for around 160, 170 USD. And what I like about this chair is, one, it is super simple to assemble. You lock in the wheels on the bottom. You pretty much just mount the back to the seating rest, and then you attach your armrest, and that's all done with the screws that they give you, as well as their own wrench. And assembly time, yes, it does recommend 2 people, but it took me around 15 minutes to set this up, and is pretty standard. As for quality and material of it, you can tell it's not leather, it's this kind of faux synthetic material. And the seat itself is this cotton cover, and what I do like about it is the material is that this is a mesh, so it's breathable. There's a headrest, you have your armrests, and one of the most important things is that it reclines. And you can actually, there's a knob on the side and you can lock it. So you can lock all the way back like this, push it back again, and go all the way upright. And it is height adjustable. Those are the things that I look for in a chair, because you want your back to be supported, you want the height to be adjusted so you can work properly at your workstation. And those are the things that I wanted in a chair. And yes, if you're a super chair enthusiast, you can spend thousands of dollars on a Herman Miller, but I don't recommend spending that amount of money for a chair unless you run a 500 corporation of people. So let's get into why I picked this chair, and my review of it is that I would say initial impressions is that seat itself, it's pretty comfy. I have sat on this chair for 6 to 8 hours now, and I've had it for around 2 weeks, and it is very durable. But I would say my biggest con of this chair is that I'm short. I'm around 5'6" or 165 centimeters. And as you can see here, my head does not even touch the top of the headrest, and this headrest portion here pushes my neck out. Because your average person, I do not recommend this chair for people who are short. But luckily for me, I don't tend to like rest my neck on my chair all the way back. I tend to just naturally sit like this, so I don't need head support. But it is good to have, and I can see how much comfortable it is, because I've seen people, another content creator who pretty much is too short for this chair, but what they did was they knelt on the chair and they put their head back, and I'm like, oh, so that's what it's the proper kind of like neck support supposed to be like. But unfortunately, I am vertically challenged, and the actual neck portion itself kind of pushes my neck out. But yes, it does create a little bit of neck pain if you tend to like lean on this for hours, but just be mindful of whether or not you're leaning all the way back on this chair, because that is one of the key things. If you want a chair that has neck support, I don't recommend the IKEA Markus, even though there's raving reviews about it and it's one of the most budget-friendly chairs. I wouldn't recommend it if you're either too tall or too short. But for me, it does the job, because I upgraded from a kitchen chair to this chair. So this chair for me is here to stay for now. And yeah, that was my kind of 2 cents on this IKEA Markus. I kind of recommend anyone who's a freelance, anything that has their own home office, think about investing in what you put your butt on, because your health and constantly being hunched over in this day and age isn't the best for your overall anatomy. And especially if you're freelance, anything, graphic designer, video editor, software developer who spends hours on their desk, there's a simple thing like a chair can help you alleviate that and realign your body so you don't get aches and pains from doing whatever it is you want to do. For me, that's creating content. And yeah, that was my overall initial impressions of the IKEA Markus chair. Overall, I'm not a furniture expert. This is just a videographer's point of view. I think it's a solid buy, and the only con of it is for people who are under 5'8", I wouldn't recommend this chair, because there are some issues like your back not fully being supported. But besides that, it is a pretty comfortable chair. I can see why a lot of people recommend it. The armrest on the side you can definitely take apart if you don't want to use that, because if you're anything like me, sometimes the armrest can't go underneath the table, and if you're someone who likes to be super close up to the computer, the armrests are going to get away. But you can simply just take off the armrest, super simple. And that's my key takeaway. Would I recommend this chair if you're looking to spend under $200? I think this is one of the best chairs that you can get if you only have $200 to spare. If you have a little bit more, definitely do more of your research. But that was my overall impressions of the IKEA Markus chair. And yes, you do have some pros, but for people who are too tall or too short, definitely consider maybe even getting like a neck pillow on top of this, because this thing, it does get annoying because you can't take this off. The headrest is there to stay. So when you're working away, you kind of don't have that back support. And there has been a little times where I have noticed a little bit of neck tenderness, but I just get up and stretch. And yeah, if you guys want future videos about how my overall workstation looks like and how I avoid neck pain and back pain when I sit for long hours, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna make a future video about that, and that was my review. If you want future videos about XYZ, just let me know in the comments. I will definitely add it to the list. And if you haven't yet, grab my free guide to buying any of your first equipment. Link is in the comments below. Get that guide, sign up for my newsletter, and no strings attached. My name is Peter, and we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers.